Hi there, I'm an Ultimate Iron Man. Sort of. I've divided the Runescape map into 18 regions, all with their own custom-built task system. These tasks provide rewards to me, such as XP and supplies. Every week, I will randomly select one of these regions and I'll be locked to it for 9 hours. Once up, my inventory and ward equipment will be wiped. My bank will be operating on a store-only basis, which means I can never take items out of it. I have compiled a list of RuneScape bosses, and the goal of this series is to kill all of them at least once. With every boss killed for the first time, I'm awarded either the choice of an additional region every week, or the ability to carry over one inventory slot every single week. Lastly, all of this content will be streamed live at twitch.tv/MrFrogRS, so be sure to join in. If you need any more information, make sure you check out the description, or just leave a comment. Without further ado, I bring you Regional Rumble! So stupid. But with that week over, we're going to spin ourselves 4 new regions for another episode of Regional Rumble. Well, next week does have content, but I can't say that I'm not resisting the urge to cry right now with the disappointment in myself. I guess this is a small spoiler, but Lumbridge is not one of those blurred wheels, just to let you know. Anyway, we're going to end off the video, and I'm going to go be miserable. So I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Regional Rumble. Bye-bye. Welcome to another episode of Regional Rumble. This week we are in Southern Krend. We also have Asgarnia, honestly I'm forgetting, Gnome, and Fremennik. I don't plan on using Fremennik. I might use it for Blast Furnace a little bit, but it's not really on the table for anything else. We do have a Slayer task that we can do in Gnome, so that's fantastic. That'll give us a chunk of Slayer points, and of course Southern Krend and Asgarnia are absolute gold mines for resources and stuff like that. Of course, Asgarnia has, Chaos Druids and whatnot, so we will be using them later on in the episode, but for now we're going to be starting in the Southern Krend. So the first thing I'm going to do is start ourselves the timer, and I am going to go and get my house into Overzeahlous. Now, I could put it in Remington, however, I think that putting it in Overzeahlous is more useful, considering I'm going to be spending more time here, and the teleports to get to Zaya basically suck. So having a teleport to house would be really nice. Now, I think maybe it would have been better to put it in Tavali, because then I can use it for druids later, but I can always move it later. I think it's only 5k to move it to Tavali, and I do have a large cash stack, so I'm not too worried about that right now, but I think for the start, Overzeahlous is probably the best bet. Relocate to Overzeahlous is only 3,750 more than doing Tavali, so yeah, it's no big deal. Right, so I'm going to take out Graceful, and I'm also going to get out Ranged Void. And the reason I'm going to be using Ranged Void instead of Melee is because obviously we do want the range XP, and we can get ourselves a decent range setup, so I'm not too bothered about that. Even without the Ava's device, which I would love to have, but I've really stunted my progress on that one, it is still viable to use. We can buy ourselves some bronze arrows and I believe a maple shortbow. In fact, I might even be able to make a yew shortbow. Not that it's going to matter too much, but we can get bronze arrows over in Shazian, so we'll be all set up for that. Alright, that is ourselves made a yew shortbow. I did go and get a yew log. I figured, why not? Also got 3,000 arrows to use. I'm going to keep the graceful on until I'm set in the right spot. That way I can run around a little bit more. I know it's going to be a waste of space, but honestly the running is just so convenient that I would much rather do it this way. We are going to go and do our Slayer task now, which I believe is the Anku in here. And it is a Konar task, so we should get ourselves a big chunk of points from this. Oh. Sweet. Okay, well that's task done. I thought I had a few more than that. Although, once again, didn't bring a Slayer gem, so that's my own fault. Let's try and get ourselves another task. Hopefully we can do this one. Not going to be with Neve, so it won't matter where we kill them. And we do have a reasonable amount of monster areas open to us, so hopefully we can get this one done as well. We did actually get ourselves 90 points from that, thank you Konar, and 222 total points. I will say we don't have any keys though, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and get ourselves another assignment from Neve. That is god-awful. Jesus Christ, that is, like, gross. Great, now the beekeeper wants my help. No. Right, so, as annoying as trolls are, we do have Fremy this week, so we can try and sneakily tag these ones if they don't aggro me insanely. And with the help of the honor guards, shouldn't be as bad as what I thought it would be. I should probably put Void on, actually. I don't know what I'm doing. I like running around with the Graceful because it obviously saves energy, but practicality, I should definitely be wearing Void. That is a Rune Kite Shield. It's not something I need, but the kleptomanic in me really wants to take it, so yoink. Final kill. And that should be task completed. Hey, I calculated correctly, even without the gem. We have collected sharks for absolutely no reason. And I'm going to go get another task. And in the meantime, we're also going to get this filled out, because I completely forgot to do that. Right, let's do ourselves the bar crawl. Now that I'm actually going to remember. He just took my money, I didn't even have a chance to say yes. And that's another one signed. So I believe now all we need is Sears. Which means we'll be able to not only get it ticked off, but also finish the bar crawl. So we are hoping for Sears at any point in the future, and we'll be able to clear up this inventory slot and be able to progress with Horror from the Deep. In fact, even start the quest, I think. Alright, Neve, what is our next task? Let's make it something nice. Black Demons. I actually don't hate it. It's a very, very long task, but we do have Asgarnia, which has Black Demons. There may be other areas as well, but it is a task that is definitely doable. So I don't hate it. It's a lot of XP as well. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So I figured with the 2 Ranar seeds that I've got here, I'm going to go ahead and plant one in the Falador farming patch. And that way we can get ourselves some Ranars if we need quick access to them in the future. Obviously we do have Chaos Druids, but it's still nice to have the herbs grown. You know, I really wish that I'd finished getting 70 agility just for this moment. It would save me so much effort. Alas, we're at 68, so we cannot use this shortcut. Thank you for the dusty key. It is now time to head our way over and kill some black demons. Oh, alright then. That's 52 Slayer. I didn't even know that was coming in. That unlocks jellies. Kind of a cool task. So, I've come to the realization that even without Slayer Gem to tell me how many I got left, I am aware that I'm not going to have enough ammunition. I've only got 60 arrows left, and I am continuously picking them up and obviously recycling them and using them again, but it is clear to me that I'm never going to complete this task with the amount of arrows that I've got, so I am going to have to head over to Overzeahlous again and get some more. Thankfully, we did get some air rune drops, so we can actually teleport to House now, which will get us over there a lot quicker, and then we'll be able to minigame teleport back to wow, here. I think I might use the Berthorpe one next time. I actually used Pest Control on the last trip, but I guess I was also selling some runes to the shop, so it kind of makes sense, but I think Berthorpe is slightly closer, so we'll probably use that to get back quicker. I'm tempted to buy a gem, but the problem with buying a gem is that I'm going to have to go all the way to Gnome, I think, because I believe that's the only Slayer Master I have access to in this week. I might have a quick look into it, maybe I'm being a bit stupid here. But yeah, I think that's what I'd need to do to get a Slayer Gem, and honestly with a task this long, I might need one, because the last thing I want to do is leave with like 2 left to kill, and then realise when I come back, because that would be absolutely horrible. I think I'd rather just switch to Melee and Prayer Flick if I got to that point, so I think a gem is a good idea, but needless to say, I am going to have to get more arrows. So, back to Shazian it is. Let's spend some more money. Alright, Neve, give me a gem. There's no way I'm doing this without knowing how many I've got left. Let's have a quick check. 133 left to kill. They take forever to kill, but it's a lot of XP. Alright, I think that's going to just about do it. We've got ourselves 6,000 bronze arrows. That should be plenty to suffice for the entire rest of the episode. Probably too many, to be honest, but we are going to teleport over to Pest Control because I actually want to buy myself some fire runes so I can alch, and then we're going to run our way back over to the Black Demons. Alright guys, so I've been doing my Slayer task for a while, and I've realised something. So in this episode, I wanted to get myself a herb sack from Tithe Farm, which is going to take approximately 4 hours, I think, maybe slightly less. But if you look at the timer right now, we've got ourselves 4 hours and about 23 minutes left, which means we've got just about enough time to get ourselves the herb sack. However, if you look here, I have 118 more black demons to kill. I was intending on doing this task before getting it, but it might seem apparent right now that I'm not going to have time for that. So, what we're going to have to do now is head over to the POH and get ourselves ready for some Tithe. It's not the most interesting content, so I'm probably just going to skip straight through all of this, but we do need a herb sack. It will help us a lot in the future, specifically for potions and stuff, and just remember that the herb sack counts as one item, which means we can carry it over week to week, even with loads of herbs inside it, which is really good because it means we can essentially carry over like 30 Ranars and have like a ton of prayer potions, or maybe Irrit's Qualms, whatever the case. We can carry all of them over in one inventory slot, so it's a huge item to get. The seed box is also quite valuable, but right now I'm not too concerned. I rarely ever have more than one seed. I mean, I've got one Ranar seed right now, which I'll probably just plant in Overzeahlous and then farm the Ranars I think I have right there, right now, and put them in the herb sack and then carry that over. So that'll probably be the plan for that. But yeah, herb sack is just a massive unlock to get. Oh, we already have 130 points. That's actually super useful because that's more than half the points we need to get a herb sack. I'm really hoping we already have Gricolas, because if not, this is going to be absolutely painful. So I'm going to, I guess, go ahead and take these. I'm not sure if it's even possible for us to have Gricolas at this level, but we are going to check. We do not. Okay, that is going to suck. Okay. Looks like we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to collect up myself a bunch of watering cans. I might have to skip the Gricolas for now because I'm not sure I'm going to have enough time to get both the Gricolas and the herb sack. And honestly, I just think the herb sack is way more useful. Of course, the Gricolas is way better for progressing with Tithe Farm, but with the time that we have left, would I rather end this episode with a Gricolas can or a herb sack? Let's be real here. Alright, I'm going to say it. Screw this. I have been doing Tithe for, I don't know, probably over an hour now, and I really cannot be dealing with all these watering cans, so we should have ourselves enough now to hand this in and get ourselves 200 points, which I believe is for the Gricolas. So let's go ahead and hand some of these in. We have to do 100 at a time if I remember rightly. Do that. That's 49 farming. I've just sort of skipped it. I just realized I have an extra bunch. I really miscalculated this. That's 50 farming. Very nice. Avanto, nature offerings, whatnot. I suppose I'll just hand these in then and get some extra points. Wait, 35? I'm getting 35 points per 100? I was calculating it as 26. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. Well, we got an extra 14. I'm just going to hand them in anyway. That gave me points as well. What? Honestly, I don't know. But we got 239 points, so that's really going to help later on when it comes to getting the herb sack. But for now, we are going to leave. Unfortunately, I can't do the next tier of plant just yet, but if we go ahead and buy ourselves the Gricolas can, I want to get back into this pretty quick. That is Gricolas can unlocked. We will be able to get ourselves some more seeds. Honestly, I'm just going to do 1k. I'm going to try and switch once I unlock the 54 one so we can get some more XP. But obviously for now we've got ourselves the Gricolas, we've got ourselves the seeds, and we're going to get back to it. To be honest, with the new point rate, my calculations are completely out the window. I should have plenty of time for this, but I'm going to get to it. Alrighty, we've got ourselves 400 fruit. I'm hoping this gets me to 54. That will make us able to do the next one. I'm pretty sure it's going to jump us straight over, but let's go ahead and put this in. That is going to be the first lot. And we have 52. Another lot. Okay, this is going to interrupt me. That didn't give me any levels. Okay. 53. Oh, okay, so I think I've worked this out pretty well then. So if we do this, 54, right? Perfect. And 179 points. We are nearly able to buy the herb sack, which is really nice considering I've got a chunk of time left. I can't see my time right now. Just under 1 hour and 40 minutes left, and we got loads of time left. So that is really nice. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some of the second tier of seed. I'm just going to take 10k, because why not? And we're going to go back in. I'm going to do a bunch of this. I will probably do just about enough to get the herb sack, and then I think I'm going to do some chaos druids. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I don't think I'm going to stay at Tithe any longer than getting the herb sack. Alright, this should just about wrap us up. This should, in theory, get us over 250 points. I think it gets me like 251, 252. We'll have to add it in 3 times, though. That is once. Might even get ourselves a cheeky level. There's 55. There's 249 points. Did we get another level? 56. We can now grow Quarm, and this puts us to 252, I think. There we go. 252 points, which is going to be enough to buy ourselves the herb sack. We have 44 minutes left of this episode, and I'm not going to do any more Tithe Farm, but we are going to buy a herb sack. There we go. That's collection log done. I probably should have stored these as a leprechaun, but I forgot. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just store all my POH stuff in the POH, and then I'm just going to go over and get myself another short bow. I've still got the arrows from before. I definitely should have kept the bow. I dropped it for space and then realized I probably should have kept hold of it, but I'm going to grab that, and then we're going to go to Chaos Druids, and we're just going to try and collect up as many herbs as we possibly can get, and keep them in the herb sack so that we can carry them over to the next week. Hopefully we can get ourselves some Ranars. They should be really useful. Maybe some Howlanders for energy potions. Who knows? We'll see what we can manage to get. I am going to alch this Runekite shield. I've had it for a while. I've been holding on to it, but I have no use for it other than to turn it into coins, because I'm not going to have the carryover space to bring it with me to the next episode. So, goodbye, Mr. Runekite. Yes, it is valuable. It gave me a decent amount. I was like 32k, I think I got from that. Very, very nice. Alright, Chaos Druids, it's time to get massacred and give me some herbs so I can carry them over to next week in my herb sack. I was going to say sack, but then I realized how dodgy that probably sounds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well I hit 0. I'm going to have to not kill this one. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do here, because isn't he just going to start casting spells on me? I'm going to run down this tunnel because my timer's up, so I shouldn't really kill him, but he's going to continue to attack me. So we're going to run down here, and that is going to be another episode of Regional Rumble completed. Alright, with that week of Regional Rumble over, we have got ourselves a herb sack, which is going to be great. I'm going to just quickly check it right now to see what we did manage to collect. We've got 13 Ranars. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did go ahead and farm my Ranars in Hosidius. That's why I've got a chunk of them extra. So we've got 13 Ranars, which is good for prayer potions wherever we go next. Some Howlanders for energy, Irrits for super attacks, Avantoes for super energy, etc, etc. You know, we've got all of these. Some of these we can't use. Of course, I can't use the Cantines. We learned this in an earlier episode, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, so that is what we've got. So we're going to be carrying over the top 12 items in the inventory. I'm not going to list them off today, but you guys can see them right there with the flashing icons. They are the items we are carrying over this week. We only need Seers, and we can finish off the Bar Crawl card, which would be amazing. So I'm hoping for that. Lumbridge would be great, because then we can get back on track with Animal Magnetism. And of course, we've got stuff like Kebos to continue with the Korend quests. There's a good few chunks of things. Just please don't give me a bunch of regions that I can't do anything with, because that would be mildly infuriating. But anyway, with all of that said, we're going to go ahead and spin ourselves the wheel and get ourselves 4 new regions. Alright, you know what? I mean, I asked for at least one of them, so I'm good with that. We can definitely make some progress into stuff I want to do. I'm going to say now, unfortunately, Animal Magnetism is not going to be on the cards. Not next week, at least. Hopefully, in the future, we'll be able to progress a little bit more with that. Wishful thinking. But anyway, we're going to end it off here, and I'll see you guys again next week for another episode of Regional Rumble.